Hello all. We all live on a yellow submarine. I want to talk to you today about the statute of limitations on suing the government and healthcare facilities after they torture you, give you brain damage, possibly even subject you to psychological manipulations, such as forcing you to repress memories. I speak of this from my own experience. My name is Kurt Brown, former Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation bank examiner, also investigative journalist, freelance on government crimes, and finance and medicine. The statute of limitations on medical torture. For example, I was forcibly injected in 2001 and 2004. First time with federal approval, the second time with state approval because of what happened on the federal level. I was investigating a murder at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. The government had not responded to an attempt on my life. They tried to incriminate me for daring to own my own firearms after having served in the United States military, after having lived through that shit we called the Vietnam drought when we were children watching other people be killed. They're absurd, as the French would say. The statute of limitations on medical torture states that because I had the stroke and I did not remember it, I had it in 2001 or 2004. It was diagnosed in 2004 by a private physician. After the second set of injections, first were in Los Angeles at a federal facility, the second were in Arizona at a state facility with federal approval, which started in 2001 and 2004. The stroke was diagnosed in 2004 after the second set of injections. I've lost partial vision. I see it as medical torture because they were forcing me to sign documents in a case that has now been reduced and dropped and all that good stuff, simply for fleeing criminals in government. So what I do is I investigate them. Sheriff Jack Tillman, you got my gun permit. I'm certain I'd like to have it back. I know you were terminated, but I'll take it, y'all take your guns and your gun permit in retribution, you thief, liar, and part of the war criminal sect that's now under view. You're out of the show, boy. Repression of memories. I didn't remember the stroke until last year in 2011. Why is that? I went around seeking medical help in 2006 and no one diagnosed it. I had it diagnosed in 2004 when they noticed I had lost vision and one of my pupils was not the same size as the other. So, let's see what else we got here. Psychologically activated drugs. What else could they be doing to us when they're forcibly injecting us? They're allowing us all the time now here in the United States. Could they also be doing hypnosis? After all, I was privy to inside information at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation where a regional director had been shot in his head and labeled suicide. Which brings up a good point. Before I was hired, they did not tell me that, or I would not have taken that job at that low of rate of pay. There's a higher degree of risk when the prior boss has been killed and trillions of dollars are involved. I'm currently in line for Department of Financial Institutions in California. I'd like to get the pay retro back to 2000 when I lost my job at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation in San Francisco, California. They're offering me a job at Department of Financial Institutions in California under the state level now, and the job doesn't compensate for all I've been through. After all, I've busted numerous people, uncovered numerous crimes. I paid my due and passed the test. Risk was not disclosed. I should sue the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation for what they did. A woman wanted me to go to her hotel room to supposedly do work with her in Hawaii at the F-DIC, the bank examination. I would not go. I was in fear of being injected by someone behind a closed door, finding out she was a chick with a dick. After all, we were out of San Francisco. More concerned about the needle behind the closed door than if it's being a chick with a dick. You can walk away from a chick with a dick, but not a needle behind a closed door. I eventually ended up being injected in 2001 and 2004. I'd never been injected prior, and I have not been injected since that I know of. However, I do have severe PTSD, and it may have occurred. I am not sure. You may not even know. They murdered the F-DIC head. I wouldn't go to the hotel room in Hawaii with my boss one night. I thought we could do the work during the day. I was not compensated for that long of a period of time. I bring this up because I might be going to work for the Department of Financial Institutions in California. But you got me now. Sweet Carol, Massa. Where is the justice? It would be terrible if people were having their brains cut open by others. Mankind is a cannibal. Now we enter the time of drought. We'll see. This is Kurt Brownlee, the St. Rambo Mobile Audit Club, saying, let's think about it, shall we? Let's think about that statute of limitations on medical torture. I want to be able to sue the government. The Dolan, D-O-L-A-N law firm in San Francisco said I could not sue them because the statute of limitations has passed. It's like getting shot in the head, thrown in the bushes. You wake up 7 years later and they say, oh, we're sorry, they shot you in the head 7 years ago, you have to report in 2. But I just crawled out of the bushes just now, I was going for 7. Sweet Carol, I think I'm on some back pay. I'd like at least a few $1 million in back pay. I think it's only fair. Take it from the zoo and zoo count out of the Bank of China. It appears that the Bank of China says that I am the only Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation bank examiner who chases Chinese bank robbers on American soil. But I don't even know if zoo and zoo of the Bank of China, which you'll find on Google search, this is XU, and put in the name St. Rambo, which is me, and you'll find me talking about them there. I don't know if zoo and zoo exist. I know the $483 million exists, and I was offered some money in the street at one time, but I don't take money off the street, Sweet Carol. I'm scared of it. You'll hang people with it, stuff it down their throat, whatever. I want to work back in the agencies, but I'll take an F-DIC chair, the captain's chair, Captain Kirk, head of F-DIC BOD, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation Board of Directors. Captain Kirk, Captain Kirk, Captain Kirk, Captain Kirk, Captain